Hi everyone, this is the Jade Marrisa podcast and this is episode 28. I'm here alone today because doing these podcasts, you do have a lot of guests lined up, but things happen, life. I had the same guy, actually, he got sick and then I had to postpone and then again he got busy, so then we had to postpone again, and that's happened to me like a couple of times now. So in the podcasting world, if you do have guests, sometimes that happens. So I'm going to improvise. I'm going to make my own little podcast. And since it is the end of 2019, I think it's a good opportunity to tell you about my year, have a little 2019 recap, everything that happened. So I'm going to go over my back surgery, female fight league, what happened in my dad's Muay Thai festival, some traveling, looked at Muay Thai, getting over my back surgery, and also starting the podcast and starting a master's degree. So actually, a lot happened this year. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy or you find this interesting, Okay, so I'll start a little bit back in 2018. At the end of 2018, I knew I was going to have back surgery. I went to a few different hospitals, got different opinions. Lastly, I went to B&H Hospital, and it's a very expensive hospital in Bangkok, in Ceylon Road. And the doctor suggested that I have a lift surgery, which is spinal fusion from anterior, from the front, so they go through your stomach. Then later, they told us the prices, and it was ridiculously expensive. So I told my parents. They were a bit like, oh, fuck, basically. Very expensive. So what we did is, my dad's secretary, how nice of her, she tracked this doctor down. And a lot of these doctors in Thailand, when they graduate from Chula University or Chula Medical University, they have to pay a due to the institution. So wherever they work, even though say he works at B&H Hospital, he also has to work maybe once a week or twice a week at this government hospital, Chulalongkorn Hospital. So she tracked him down. He was only there just seeing patients just one day a week. We managed to get an appointment with him that was just in January 2019. I think it was January 2nd or January 3rd, and we're on the process to getting this back surgery at a much cheaper price. And at the time, I still didn't know how much it would cost, but, we may as well go to a government hospital because we knew it would be cheaper. So actually, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So what happened, but I will also talk about what else happened during that same sort of time, so we can go through as a time lapse. Also, at the end of 2018, on the 20th of December, I got news from one of my Chinese WMO partners that they wanted us to promote a female fight or a Muay Thai fight in Thailand in January. And I was like, wow, it's December 20th. You want me to promote an entire fight on January 20th? That's the date that they gave me. I was like, 1 month. First we have Christmas, we have New Year. You want me to organize everything in 1 month when we have all these holidays. I was like, okay, let me see. So I was quite lucky. At the same time, you may have seen my friend Maya. She rocked up at my gym, and that's the first time we met, around that time in December. And I said to her, I was like, when we literally just met, I said, no, I need some help looking for trying to make this fight, and I'm looking for someone to help me and this and that. And we started talking, and she was interested in Muay Thai. So we're like, okay, let's do it. You and I, two of us, just two girls hosting this entire female fight in just 1 month. So they decided they wanted to do it in Pattaya. So over this time, we were driving back and forth from Pattaya, and this was around Christmas time. Then we had to organize with the media, organize all the fighters, organize so many different things. I initially had Nongnan on my card to fight. And I think it was around December, or maybe it was earlier they told me about the fight, but around December 20th, or maybe it was, she committed suicide, if you may have known Nongnan. So terrible, terrible tragedy, and like so sad that happened. And she will always be in my memory. She was such an amazing person, an amazing fighter. So just want to like talk about that a little bit as well. So we'll go into that area throughout the podcast. Anyway, so then having her do this thing, initially we were supposed to have 6 fights. We decreased it to 5 fights just in honor of her. And then instead of having an extra fight, we made this montage video of her in respect to her. Okay, so we'll go into January now. So into January, I went to the hospital to see the doctor, and we had an X-ray. I'm not sure if we had an MRI at that time. Definitely had an X-ray, and he was like, "Yep, your disc is fucked, and you definitely need to get the surgery." I mean, he'd seen it at B&H anyway, but being at Chula, you also have students with you as well. So this guy being like an Ajan, a top doctor, teacher, he had to have these student doctors with him. So like they had to go through the process over again and tell these students at the same time. And he was like, you can have your surgery here, but you will have these students in the room with you at the same time. Are you okay with that? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, it was a whole like gang of like university students in the same room, and I'm like on a table, like flat out naked. Maybe naked, but I had like a blanket over me, Anyway, yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about that. So going to a government hospital, Chula, it's such a process. So even though I had my initial appointment with the doctor in January just to see and talk with him, 2 weeks, I had to wait 2 weeks after that to get blood tests and to get other tests to see if everything was fine. And then I think it was like another 2 weeks after that. And then, so the last one, they were like, okay, we'll call you about my surgery. And I was like, okay. So then I just waited. So whatever, I just left that to that, waited for the call. Still in January, we going back to the fights now. We were able to get all the fighters together, organize the clothes for the fighters, organize the weigh-ins, media, get some guests coming in, all these different things just in that 1 month. And we pulled it off. And on January 20th, we had the first Female Fight League event in Pattaya at Bone Arena. It was so awesome. It was really, really, really cool. Like all the girls came down. We got them accommodation. We had the weigh-in at Hooters in Pattaya, which they were also awesome. They had the weigh-in, and then they gave us a buffet afterwards. The next day was the fights. Me and Maya were actually in Pattaya just 2 nights before, hustling, going around walking street, going around Pattaya to all the bars and all the restaurants, whatever, giving out flyers, trying to like market the event, spread word of mouth. So we did that ourselves. In fact, me and Maya, oh my God, we worked so hard. We were just going around Bangkok, going around Pattaya, contacting all the Muay Thai gyms, going around so many different places promoting this event. So like respect to her for helping me with that a lot. So yeah, the fight happened. It was so fun. It was exactly how I envisioned it. But there was like one problem, like one of the girls pulled out a few days prior. So I had to replace her, and she was on the main event. So that was a tough one to deal with. And now I realize like in fights promoting Muay Thai, so many fighters are going to pull out, and you have to contact people really fast, try and replace these fighters, try and do all these different things, and it's madness. Promoting fights is madness. I had a little bit of an argument because I said like promoting fights is more difficult than fighting. One fighter was like, no, fighting is definitely more difficult. It's definitely not. Okay, promoting a Muay Thai fight or promoting any fight is so difficult because you have to handle so many different areas that you can't even imagine. Things that you wouldn't think of like pop up. So yeah, of course, fighters pulling out, it happens. You have to be prepared for that and be able to like be on it and contact as many people as you can and get a replacement fighter. Anyway, all the girls were super happy. The event was cool and everything was cool. Yeah. So then let's skip forward to March. We decided it was the International and Thai Martial Arts Games and Festival that my dad hosts in Bangkok. And on the 8th of March, myself and Maya held a Muay Thai and self-defense event for females, which was really, really cool. Despite the fact that just a few days prior to that, the hospital called me and they said, you're going to have your surgery on March 12th. I said, what? Can it not be after that? Because, it was my dad's festival during that time. No, this is the government hospital. You cannot choose the date. Just a phone call, just like that, simple like that. I was like, I was driving at the time. I was a bit panicky. I was like, oh my God, next week they want me to have surgery that fast. So I was like, okay, I need to tell my parents first. Can you call me back in a few hours? Okay, fine. They'll call me back in a few hours. So I called my mom straight away. I'm like, Mom, oh my God, I'm freaking out. They want me to have surgery next week. It's during the games. What shall I do? She's like, do it. If you keep on holding it off, then you might lose the opportunity. And this is the opportunity to do it. Because this hospital is really difficult to get a spot. They're full, very, very full. Because like I say, it's a government hospital. Which, by the way, it was half the price than it would be at the other hospital I was talking about, the private one. So half of the price. So really, really great. So, okay, fine. I will do the surgery then. So I completely missed my dad's festival. I had to go there I had to go to the hospital on the 11th, check in on the 11th. And my mum stays with me, thank God. So we went into the private area of Chula Hospital. Really nice. If you go to first when you go in to check in, the initial area is so disgusting and so many people, so crowded. But the private area where I had the surgery, oh my God, it was like a private hospital. So nice. And the nurses took good care of me. And my room was high up and we had the view of Lumpini Park. So yeah, that was I felt much better, to be honest. I was stressing out a bit about the hospital, but when I saw that, I was like, okay, what a relief. So yeah, I just chilled in my hospital room and they came in giving me all these drugs, I think. I can't remember, probably. Checking my pulse and my blood pressure very often. And they said, okay, so we'll come and get you around, I think it was around 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., something like that. And of course, I couldn't really sleep properly anyway. I wake up around that time very early, take a quick shower, and they come into my room, and then that's it. I think they made me go into this other bed, and then they wheeled me out. Yeah, that was it. I had to lie into this stretched bed, and they wheeled me out. And they wheeled me into the elevator. And I was covering my face, with the blanket. And my mum was with me. She was like, why are you covering your face? I was like, I'm scared. This is so scary. Imagine being wheeled out on a bed into an elevator. You go in to get major surgery. It was terrifying. So I go into the elevator. And we go down. I'm just there with the blanket over me. I'm like, oh, shit. And then they're like, okay, sorry, madam, you have to sit outside now. So then she went back up to the room, left me, and then they put me into this other room, which was just a room full of all these beds, and a lot of them were empty, but a couple of them had other people who were waiting for other types of surgery. I was like, oh my God, what is this? So I feel like I'm in a meat factory. Okay, so yeah, so then after that, I wait in that little room, and then I think they do something else, check my blood pressure. They check my blood pressure so many times. And then they take me into the surgery room. It's a big room, big empty room. Not empty, but big room. And then all these students were in there. So many of them. And I had my little a nightgown on. And then I had to take it off and have a blanket on me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm like literally like butt naked on this freaking bed with the blanket on me. And then they like had my arms like strapped like Jesus. They strapped my arms up. And then they just like started injecting the anesthesia into my veins. And I'm a little bit freaking out inside, but at the same time, I'm not, because I've been injected with this thing that's like going to make me pass out. So I'm like talking, and then like the nurses very nicely were like talking me through it, talking me into it, and then all of a sudden, lights out. I'm gone. Next thing I know it, I wake up and I'm in a different room. I'm in a similar room like where all those beds were before with like other people, but I'm in so much pain. Like my back hurts. I can't imagine. Like I can't even explain like how the pain that I felt at that moment when I woke up. Like it was crazy. I felt like, I yelled to the nurse, and I was like, give me a pillow, like put a pillow underneath my knees right now. That's the first thing. I was like, put a pillow underneath my knees. Get me a pillow underneath my knees. Because I felt like my back was arched. I mean, it kind of is extra arched already, like a hyperlordosis. It was arched. So I had a lot of pressure on my lower back where the screws were. A lot of pressure there, and I felt it even more. So I was like, if you put a pillow underneath my knees, I can flatten my back on the bed. So that's why I yelled for that. So they came over, put a pillow on, and then she just whoop, another injection in my veins, and I was fine again. Morphine is great when you're in a lot of pain. Yeah. So she gave me that, and I was like, okay, fine. Like it's cooling down, like much better. Then so then after that, after I woke up, they wheeled me all the way back up into the elevator, and then to the room where my mum was probably sat there as like a nervous wreck. For me, it was like boom, 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 like so fast. Obviously, I was passed out. I think she was sat panicking in the bedroom for like I don't know how many hours. So yeah, they opened the door, and she comes like running over to me. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm okay." Like I was a little bit out of it, you know, but I was okay. And then they kind of like had to I didn't really move myself. I think they moved me from that little bed to my actual bed. And then, so then, yeah, they're like doing all these things again, checking my blood pressure, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is so funny. I'm like, why does my vagina feel weird? Why does my vagina feel weird? I was like, what the hell is this? And they put a capacitor on there. You know what that is? It's like, you know, a bag where you pee. The bag where you pee. So I wasn't able to get up and walk to the toilet. I couldn't move. So they had this bag there. I was like, oh no. Who did this? I was like, no. I think I was more freaked out about that than my surgery. Yeah. So then I had like this big plaster on my belly, obviously, because that's where they cut me open. And then I don't think they showed it me that time yet. I had to wait a bit. So yeah. Anyway, fast forward a little bit. I was in hospital for like a good few days, maybe like 3 or 4 days after the surgery. I think I checked out on the 4th day. Yeah. But throughout those few days, the nurses were coming in constantly shoving morphine into me and making me eat medicine. And I had little gangs of these students come in, like in different times. So like first it'd be a gang of like boy students that come in and they ask me all these questions. And then a bunch of girl students would come in and ask me all these questions. So actually, like even though I had all these people like observing me, like I was their school project, it was kind of it was kind of fun. Like, you know, like give me entertainment anyway, because otherwise I'm just gonna be sat in a hospital room doing nothing, you know? Yeah. So after the surgery, as I said, my dad's championships, his festival was going on. You know, I could watch it on Facebook Live. I actually hired someone to film it live so I could watch it whilst I was in the bed. And then my dad came and my brother came and they were like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess as okay as you could be, following that." I think, the day after, the doctor came over to me who did the surgery, and he made me stand up, and then they like got me walking quite fast as well. And they showed me like this, they gave me this little jar. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like, "That's your disc." I was like, oh, yeah. What do you want me to do with it? They're like, "Yeah, you can keep it." I'm like, "Will it go off?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, then I don't want to keep it. Why would I want to keep some disgusting disc that's going to go all moldy and rotty?" And like, so anyway, I gave it back to them. They took it. But yeah, I got working really, really fast, and the doctor was happy with that. I mean, he took a photo and video, and he can show his next future clients that, obviously. But anyway, he did really good. So thank you. Okay, so yeah, the festival. So much drama happened during that. I actually got called in by the WKA guys. Like, as soon as I got out of the hospital, they were like, "Jade, can you come over and have a meeting with us and like just talk about things and whatever?" So then, yeah, just days after surgery, I had to go to the hotel, the main hotel they were at, and have a meeting with them. And yeah, I'm not sure how well or not the games went really that year. But I do know there was a lot of drama, a lot of inside people, which have been doing the same thing year after year. Okay. My dad had an initial team that maybe some of you people have seen these familiar faces year after year after year. But they've been like lying and cheating from my dad for so long, these Thai people. So if you come to the games next year, 2020, and you don't see these faces, then you will know who, okay? I mean, and I'm not going to say exactly what, but like, like a lot of equipment went missing, and I've even heard of like a lot of fake certificates were being sold. Like they made copies of this and that. So like, yeah, these people, one guy used to work at our gym. He's not there anymore. So you can try and do some digging and figure out who that is. All right. So in April, just a month after, my fighter Panlit was going to fight in London in Muay Thai Grand Prix promotion. So I had to arrange all of his visa and this and that. And obviously I have a British passport, so I had to go with him. I'm like, oh my God, it's 1 month after my surgery. I'm not even sure if this is allowed, but I had to wear a back brace for so long. So I was wearing that. And, I went through the airport, like little metal detector, and I was like, oh my God, am I going to beep? But I didn't beep, because apparently the screws are so deep in your body that it doesn't set it off. Yeah. So yeah, went to London. That was a bit awkward. I had to on the plane, I had to stand up and sit down like so many different times and walk around and stretch. Yeah. I don't like doing that. I feel like paranoid. If I saw someone else doing that whilst I was on the plane, I'd be paranoid. Like, why is this person moving around so much? But anyway, yeah, so Panlit looked at he won. It was super cool. We stayed in London for 3 days and then came back. It was exhausting. In May, I went to China with my dad, and we were supposed to be looking into promoting fights there, but the Chinese contact, very on and off, so I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see. Not anytime soon, that's for sure. Then, after that, I had a little bit of a rant on Facebook about Muay Thai, and a lot of people watched it and seemed to agree with me. And I actually called it the death of Muay Thai in Thailand, because, I was talking about how you can't get sponsors here. People are very backstabby and cheating and lying and this and that and that. People don't market the sport properly, and they don't see the long-term growth. They don't plan the long-term growth so well. They just plan for the now. It's very Buddhist, though. Like being in the moment is very Buddhist. So you may notice this within the character of the people in Thailand. Anyway, so yeah, I had a little bit of a rant, and my my good friend Joel from Bangkok University contacted me about doing podcasts after that. Because luckily he has been doing podcasts for himself. And yeah, we met up and we spoke about doing this. So here we are today. And it's funny because I actually hated talking. And I was so crap at it at the beginning. I was so scared. And I feel like now I'm doing okay. So yeah, you have to challenge yourself. Like, get out of your comfort zone, do something new, learn something new, which is so true because, last year I learned salsa, I learned bachata, I learned how to do basic Photoshop, I've learned how to do basic WordPress. You're constantly learning, so you constantly have to challenge yourself to do something new and also to improve yourself as well. So I feel like my talking is getting a little bit better now, which is great. I'm also trying to read more, so like it can help my vocabulary at the same time. When you live in Thailand, especially when you work in a Muay Thai gym, your English tends to get a little bit crap, basically. So I'm speaking like this horrible mixed Thai English sort of way. Tinglish, right? That's what they call it. Yeah. Okay, so we started doing this. And it's going good. I have episodes with Senchai and Champuk and so many cool guests that you definitely need to check them all out. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to June. There was more drama coming back from the games, the World Games. A woman who'd been working with my dad for a long time, we found out she stole so much money. She was like the biggest scammer ever. Oh my God, my dad lost so much. And like this woman she was supposed to be a family friend, You may know her. She looks like that freaking secretary from The Incredibles cartoon movie, little black hair and glasses. Anyway, so my dad was like really, really down and stressed and all the above, like he actually became a monk for 9 days because of it. He felt like that could help him clear his mind or get some good karma back and this and that. And he'd never actually been a monk before. Usually Thai men, once in their life, they're a monk. And it's usually like quite younger. But my dad, at 65 years old, became a monk just after his birthday because of all these people who've been like fucking him over. But that's why another reason why I had a rant about Muay Thai, because I feel like in this industry, it's so shitty, it's so corrupt, and there's so many people you just cannot trust. Anyway, so he became a monk, and I was like, all right, well, you're going to run away and do that. And I was like, fine. I was like, okay, I want to go somewhere too. I want to do something too. So then I was like, Mom, like maybe can I just like go like on a vacation, suppose my friends in America. And then I went to California after my dad's whole monk thing. So late June, I went to California. And I've not been there since 2015, 2016. Yeah, 2016, June is when I left. Yeah, so then I went there. I saw my friends. And like, it just wasn't how it used to be. Like, there's a lot more homeless people in California. That's for sure. I feel like people live in this fake reality, like they try and pretend that everything's good. Everything's not really that good. They spend a lot of money on things to show off and they don't have that money. And I feel like people need to snap back to reality. Hey, what line is that? Snap back to reality. No, but they need to see reality a little bit more, like focus on yourself. Don't focus on the other people around and don't focus on what people see. You need to see yourself first. And I feel like a lot of people have lost their way in that sense. So I thought, this is not fun. Like, it was cool to go around California and see the old places that I used to go and check out some new places. Yeah, we met some nice people. But in the end, I was like, damn, like, like people just seem lost. It was probably because of social media and so many different factors, but still, Anyway, so after that, I was like, I've been doing sports and Muay Thai and being very active and this and that. And I've had back surgery, and I've during my recovery stage, I I feel like I've done a lot of self-learning. I've been reading, I've been watching a lot of documentaries, I've been finding a lot of interest in different topics, and I found a big interest in psychology. So, and I was thinking, I do want to continue my studies. I want to do a master's degree. Now I was like juggling between the idea of doing an MBA in business or a master's degree in psychology. So I was talking to a few people, and I thought, like, if I want to do business really, then it's something you can actually learn on yourself, on your own. You can watch YouTube videos, you can buy books, you can learn through experience. But psychology, I feel like you would have to go to school to learn psychology. You cannot be a practicing psychologist from a YouTube video. You know what I mean? You can be a business person, but not a psychologist. So, yeah. So then, like, in July, I applied for Assumption University. That's the only international university that does a master's in counseling psychology in English language. So I applied to them, and I had my interview, and it was pretty late, to be honest. And they're like, "Are you ready? It starts like in like next month," which was like 2 weeks away. I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready. Like, what else am I going to do? Why would I contact you and tell you I want to start in August if I'm not ready?" And then, yeah, so I did that. I had my exam, everything was fine. And in August, I started Assumption University. Yeah, great. I love it. I think studying, going back to school is such an amazing thing. And we had that podcast about going back to your university and education at a later age. And I think it's so true and it's so good because we don't fully develop cognitively or the way that we think until like our 20s or even late 20s. The way that we think is different. So I'm so glad that I made this decision, and I feel like it will be a complete new direction for my life and change my life a lot because, like I said, with my back surgery, the whole active life is not a good idea for my long-term well-being, right? So yeah, psychology is absolutely great. Loving it. I still did try and push Female Fight League a little bit. Me and Maya, during that whole few months after the first one, we wanted to promote more fights, but we were contacting so many different sponsors and just no one took much interest. Like, another reason why I did that rant, because all these different Muay Thai events are asking the same sponsors, and it's just so competitive, and the sponsors are now not really seeing so much of a long-term benefit or not much of a return in their investment. So I kind of cancelled that. Not cancelled it, but just put it to the side. Saying that, we did continue the Muay Thai self-defense class. We had one in Prompong next to K Village. It was a free one because I still wanted to kind of get the name out there. And it went well. A few people came. I think it was like around 12 people came, which is okay because it was raining. It's rainy season, and like people just don't want to go anywhere in the rainy season. So actually, maybe it was less than 12. I think 12 confirmed. But anyway, yeah, it was cool. But then we had some disagreement with the location. So then that kind of flopped. Whatever. It was nice. Then in September, continuing university, but another friend of mine who I went to international high school with in Bangkok, he committed suicide. And it's such a shame because this person I was actually talking to like early in that month, or maybe it was like July, I suppose. So there was September, he committed suicide. Then I think it was August that I was speaking to him, or early September. Yeah. And like, it was someone, again, that you wouldn't expect, and it never is. I feel like even Nong Nan, you wouldn't expect, because she just seemed like a very happy and friendly person. And when I was at Billy's funeral, and I was like, he would be the person to get everyone talking. Because at that time, it was like everyone was separated and in their own little groups. But like, he would be the person to bring everyone together. And it's like, it's such a shame. And I feel like I'm so happy to be doing psychology, because I feel like a lot of people are lost and a lot of people need a lot of help. People are suffering with depression and suicidal thoughts, and they need someone to talk to. So I'm glad that I made the decision to do psychology. I feel like I can help a lot of people, even with Nong Nen. Like, I was roommates with her in 2018 at this Muay Thai camp thing, and like she was open to me and she was sharing things and gossiping with me and stuff. And at that time, I thought, this girl's kind of lost. She needs guidance. But like after the camp, we just separated ways, and that was like it until like end of the year. So I feel like I could help these people, like I could, and I really want to. And I do feel like using sports can be a tool to do that, because a lot of people are scared to approach psychologists. But if you use something that's a more comfortable tool, like I said, or a setting or whatever, then it's a good way to get to these people and offer help to these people. So yeah, that is my overall plan. Then in October, another female fight league self-defense class at the Hive. This was kind of like the last one for the year. Just wanting to see again after the rainy season. But again, it didn't really work. There wasn't many people, and I feel like women in Bangkok are not so bothered about learning self-defense or Muay Thai, really. I think mostly they want to do Muay Thai for exercise and for losing weight and looking good, but to learn a skill that could possibly help them and save them, like they're just not so interested. So I don't know, I can't change that, so I just have to accept that, and it's absolutely fine. But if anyone wants to learn with me, they can hit me up, that's fine. But I'm not going to push for these self-defense classes anymore, because in Bangkok, there's no market for it yet that I see. All right. I've not really spoken much about Luktafa. Like, we've been quiet over the rainy season, and then until November we were quiet. But in December, now it's December, we've been picking up a lot, and it's very seasonal, I feel like, the Muay Thai scene. And not just the Muay Thai scene, but Thailand, we're a tourist destination. So it's very seasonal. During rainy season, not that many people. And also because the baht is so high, the Thai baht, so people are not coming here like they used to. So that's kind of weighing on the country, I feel like. A lot of people are losing this year. I don't think it's a very good idea to make a big business, or invest in something big right now. All right, so in December, I finally made peace. Well, I just finished the semester of the university, the first semester. Anyway, so I finally made peace with myself and that I cannot do Muay Thai anymore. I tried, and my back was in so much pain for like 2 weeks after. And then after that, it's still kind of not been that much better. So I don't think I can do Muay Thai anymore. I can shadow box, but not hit pads, not hit the bag, not go hard. And yeah, you may say, oh, just go soft then. I can't, okay? I used to be a professional fighter. It's so difficult for me to just do a soft kick for like so many times, I'd just rather not do it. I'll just shadow box. So I'm not going to do Muay Thai anymore. We'll see in like the long-term future. But I started Pilates, and it's so good. And it's strengthening my core, and it's strengthening my back, it's strengthening my entire body. And I think I'm just going to keep on continuing with Pilates for now. What else has happened? There's been a lot of drama with IFMA. You may have seen all the Muay Thai organizations, all the amateur Muay Thai organizations had a little meeting together, discussing the problems with IFMA, because IFMA basically they're trying to have all control over the amateur Muay Thai industry, and not even just amateur now. They're trying to dip into the professional as well. I mean, they're together with WMC, right? So they're trying to capitalize on all of that, on all the Muay Thai. And apparently they had some issues, or gave some issues to a fighter or a couple of fighters who want to go and fight outside the country, and they would release letters to promoters saying that if it's not authorized by them, then they cannot fight and so on. So they're trying to have a monopoly over the Muay Thai industry, from what it seems. So yeah, all the organizations had a meeting about that. I don't really know where it stands right now. Obviously, they're retaliating and replying with different types of letters and whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. Look at Facebook to see the updates. Maybe that's probably the best place to go to. Aside from that, we're planning the World Games next year in Pattaya. So we want a complete new start, new people, new team. We have organizers helping us. So we don't have that old team that was like cheating for my dad anymore. And in Pattaya, which is a new place, we've been doing it in Bangkok for forever. So it's nice to have a different place, and we'll see how it goes. It's on the sand though, so that's a bit of a worry. Don't know how that will be, having the sand go on the ring. We need to have a lot of people helping to clean very often. Okay, so that's the championships and Luktafa. And the other night I volunteered at the Village Education. It's a special needs school, and they had their Christmas party thing, and I helped out there. And I think I want to try and do something a bit more with them as well, because we had one guy come and talk at my university, and he kind of inspired me a lot. And he was telling me some of these kids say they have autism or they're dyslexic or this and that. They have very low self-esteem. So I spoke to him, and maybe I can help him with these kids, help them boost confidence through sports and through counseling as well. So hopefully next year there'll be more into that. Last thing, my friend Leah, we had the Smart Farm podcast together. Well, I told you she was the Danish, something about the pirate and the Smart Farm thing. She lives in Pittsburgh. Anyway, she's now got this new project starting off. It is the Bamboo Quest, and it's about eco-farming and reusable 100% natural and organic straws. So they're made from bamboo. We have different ones. There's bamboo, there's rice flour, some types of grass, and all these very natural materials we make into straws. So if you look at the video now, this is something like this, the Bamboo Quest. And they're so cool. And yeah, they're available for sale. You can actually get your business name or whatever engraved on the straw, So just look up the bambooquest.com and save the world one straw at a time, right? All right. So yeah, that's pretty much my year. A lot happened, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tried, test, didn't work, learned from it, move forward, that is life, lots of shit happens, and we cannot dwell. We cannot sulk. Just get on, just move, replan, restructure, find a new goal, and go for it. Like I said, my whole life was sports. I had major back surgery, and now I'm moving to psychology and moving from physical health to mental health. There's always another direction that we can go into. My dad's championships been in Bangkok, all these problems. Let's move to Pattaya. Let's have a fresh start. I really want to show you and tell you that so much shit happens. We fail all the time, but failing is the best way to learn, and you got to learn from it. You have to move forward, find a new goal all the time, and just keep on working towards it. So anyway, everyone, I want to wish you a very happy new year, 2020. Thank you for listening to this episode. Best wishes, be smart, strong, and healthy. Sawadee ka.